Greetings, everybody, from wherever you're joining us today. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this very special webinar. I am Tendai Munyevu, and I'm honored to be chairing today's webinar. I'm a vice president of the institution and a director of Amentum in the UK. I've led global and multicultural teams in Africa, UK and Ireland, the US, and mainland Europe. And I'm joined today by Yasmin Baker, Chief Executive of the Institution of Structural Engineers. This is our agenda for our meeting today. In a moment, Yasmin will remind us of IStructE's history and purpose, which will help to set the scene for today's session. Yasmin will then lead us through the background of the Pan-African Knowledge Partnership and some of the resources that the institution is making freely available online to increase capacity building of structural engineers in Africa, support the design and construction of safer buildings and bridges, and improve resilience in the face of climate change in the region. After Jasmine's presentation, there will be time for Q&A with you, the audience. Okay, we thought it would be interesting to find out more about you, our audience today. So in a moment, you will see two questions appear on the screen. Please select an answer and we'll share the results afterwards. Okay, the first question is, where are you joining us from today? I'll wait for a few minutes to give you time to respond to that, and we'll share the answers in a moment. Okay, so I recognize you joining us from all over the world, but it looks today most connections are from Ghana and Rwanda. So thank you for joining us. The next question is about what you do. Are you a student? Are you an educator or a practicing engineer? Please respond now. And I see that most of you are practicing structural engineers, so thank you for that. I think your audience participation really helps us to get a sense of who's joined us today, and hopefully it helps you all to feel part of a network. Okay, so before I hand over to Yasmin, I would like to share with you a video interview I did as part of our work to explain this partnership, in which I shared a little bit about me, my relationship with IStructE, and why I think this project is truly groundbreaking.
My name is Tendai Munyevu, and I'm one of the vice presidents for IStructE, the Institution of Structural Engineers. I work for a consultant, and we do some designs for buildings and other infrastructures in the UK and across the globe. Pan-African partnership is about creating a relationship between the Institution of Structural Engineers and the CEC, the Commonwealth Engineers Council, and to make sure that there is access to information for engineers across Pan-Africa, and also sharing of knowledge between the two institutions and groups of engineers. This partnership will be relevant for all engineers across the globe, mainly the engineers in Africa will have access to information. I'm talking about guidance. I'm talking about mentors across the globe. But equally, it is also important for the Institution of Structural Engineers in sharing new ways of working. So I know for certain that in Africa, they use quite a lot of local materials. And so in terms of sustainability and the climate crisis, it is very, very important for those in the West to learn from those in Africa as well. This partnership actually is relevant to all parties, really. I mean, particularly access to information to those engineers in Africa. This partnership is going to provide access to a wide range of over 100 free on-demand live events. And also the climate emergency resources will help engineers to design low carbon buildings in Africa. And this partnership will provide access to the structural carbon tool and also guidance that is available for graduates, for affiliates, for those that are actually in the prime of their careers. My relationship with the Institution of Structural Engineering basically started with my love for mathematics. When I went to university to study engineering, I fell in love with the structural analysis course as well as the structural design course. So, and soon after graduation, of course, I joined a structural engineering company, and I joined the institution straight on. So it's been a source of inspiration to start with. It's been, we've been aiming to get to being a member of the institution because of the record it has got, and just the preparation to get me to be a member actually helped me to elevate me in my career in some way. So it's actually been pushing me forward as far as trying to grow in this industry. Once I've joined in there today, I'm leading people and I'm leading projects, and I've stopped designing, but actually whenever I'm asked what I do, I kind of default to being a structural engineer because that's the best thing that got me to where I am today. I was fortunate that when I came out of university, I joined an international company, and with that came in the access to information through other means. But not everybody in Africa is fortunate enough to have that access. And what this partnership is doing is providing that access to a wider range of engineers in Africa. So this really partnership is invaluable in providing that information and mentorship across the globe. The challenge usually, I know because I started my career back in Southern Africa, Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa, that region. And I know the membership fees we ask for in the West is out of reach for the locals in those areas. The other challenge is the rapid urbanization. We know about that. The growth is immense, but with that also comes opportunities. Because for me, the next couple, 3-4 decades, majority of the workforce in the world is going to be coming out of Africa at the moment. So it's important that we are on the forefront of providing the guidance that we need them to use for design. The opposite of that is, cure, and cure in structures is, almost, demolition of buildings that are already done. In some cases, it's actually collapse of buildings due to this. We talk about the climate emergency. We've seen the flooding happening. We've seen the fires across the world. We've seen drought, especially in Africa as well. And all those things, we have the information that here, and I know for certain Africa is probably the least prepared to respond to those challenges when it comes to existing infrastructure, whether it's the buildings, whether it's the emergent services. So it is important that we don't react to it, we act. We do the design safely. At least by doing that, you've answered the majority of the challenges. So it's about prevention rather than cure, really. It is important to be part of a community. When I started, I joined IStructE straight from college. That was my guiding star, essentially, to say my career is going in this direction, and everything I've done is been based on the structural engineering experience as a stepping stone. So it is important that at least join a local institution. The world is a playing ground now. So if you want to be moving across to work in in other countries, it means that you need to understand the power of networking and community. And for that, I think join the Institution of Structural Engineers. If I had this access when I was, starting my career, indeed, my career would have been accelerated a lot. Why I'm saying this is that the company I was working with, I was fortunate enough, as I say, to work with an international company. But what that means is I was only exposed to information that was linked to my discipline, the wide range, climate challenges now, carbon tools and all those things. We did not have access to that kind of information. What we had was, information on concrete design, information on steelwork design, and that was kind of restricted access to some extent, whether it's design, whether it's actually construction, whether it's, designing nuclear or normal buildings. That information is accessible at the Institution of Structural Engineers. So this would have made a lot of difference to me. I started nuclear only 15 years into my career because that's when it was exposed to me. So by exposing information earlier to people, then they can make decisions earlier in their careers. My last word is that if you are an engineer, any engineer, by the way, it doesn't have to be structural, but if you are an engineer in Africa, please join a body, your local body. If you cannot join IStructE directly, and be part of this partnership and have access to all this body of information and guidance.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope it worked for you wherever you are. But I am pleased to now hand over to Yasmin Becker for her briefing about this exciting new project. Yasmin.
Thank you, Tendai. Hello, everyone. I'm very pleased to have this opportunity to talk about the Pan-African Structural Engineering Partnership with you. But before I delve into the detail, I thought it would be helpful to remind everyone about our history and purpose, as these very much set the tone for the partnership. We were founded in 1908. We are the world's largest membership organization with a royal charter dedicated to the art and science of structural engineering. We have over 30,000 members in 139 countries. This slide shows you the breadth of where our membership is located. It's an image that proves how structural engineering is a profession without borders. Its impact is felt across continents, shaping industries, infrastructure, and the way people live. In an interconnected world, engineers work for companies that operate across multiple regions, relying on mutual recognition of skills and standards to ensure seamless collaboration. Our purpose flows from our Royal Charter. It informs everything that we do and what we stand for, and of course, our ongoing strategy. The IStructE's purpose is rooted in simple but powerful goals, which can be seen on this slide. To promote, for the public benefit, the general advancement of the science and art of structural engineering. This links to our Royal Charter. To facilitate the exchange of information and ideas relating to structural engineering, not just with our members, but right across the built environment sector and with the general public too, who need to know about the work that structural engineers do. And to develop and support highly qualified structural engineers worldwide, to train and develop to ensure their skills and knowledge remain relevant as they race through their chosen careers. Looking at this purpose in the round, these are vital in an ever-changing work environment. We live in an era defined by climate change, rapid urbanization, and global inequality. So this purpose and our aims have never been more critical. As a professional membership body, we have a responsibility to be at the forefront of the exchange of information and ideas that enable the highest standard of structural engineering response globally. So I am very proud that the institution has joined the Commonwealth Engineers Council to share and co-create engineering expertise. I'm very grateful to their president, Don Bonfield, for working with us on this project. I'm sure many of you attending today are members of local engineering institutions. And like the IStructE, these organizations play a vital role in the registration and the professional development of engineers across the globe. In essence, the Pan-African Structural Engineering Knowledge Partnership will offer the 10 African professional engineering institutions that are the members of CEC access to some of the IStructE's key technical resources. Our international partners for this project are listed on this slide. So you can see we have institutions from Kenya, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. I'd like to give you a little bit of background on the initiatives, as you may be asking, why launch this Pan-African Knowledge Partnership now? The answer to that is the rapid transformation underway in sub-Saharan Africa. The OECD predicts the continent's population will double by 2050, with 2/3 of the population living in the cities. We also heard from Tendai's video about the challenges that people are facing. The International Energy Agency has forecast that 80% of the new global construction will take place in emerging economies. This growth is truly staggering. But it also presents a profound challenge because local engineers often face constraints in accessing the right structural engineering resources and specialist guidance required to support that transformation. There's another important piece of this puzzle. At IStructE, we've long recognized the vital importance of sustainability. In 2019, we committed to treating it with equal weight to safety. Since then, we've created over 200 pieces of climate-sensitive guidance. This includes a wealth of content from magazine articles in our members' magazine, The Structural Engineer, to guides, reports, policy papers, and tools that I'll go on to explain more about in a moment. With this new initiative, we are taking that knowledge to where it can have the most impact, supporting the engineers who are shaping the future of some of the world's fastest growing cities. Through the Pan-African Structural Engineering Partnership, we are proud to stand in solidarity with our colleagues in Africa and invest in a future that is safer, stronger, and more sustainable for us all. That's the why. But now, how for the how? Our focus is on building strong relationships with the PEIs I listed, sharing resources, and delivering impactful training. It's based on 3 clear strategic pillars for success that empower the local PEIs by giving them access to our content and expertise. The project's second pillar supports practicing engineers by delivering tailored training. The third pillar invests in the next generation of structural engineers, advancing future talent and keeping that talent pipeline strong. These 3 interconnected pillars are vital for the built environment's future and for public benefit. I'd now like to outline some of the online resources that we are sharing. Technical guidance notes. More than 70 expert notes providing technical guidance to both undergraduates and those in the early stages of their careers. Experienced technicians may also find these notes helpful when looking to develop a greater understanding of structural design. Level 1 notes provide sound foundations from which design skills can be developed by focusing on basic structural engineering principles, while Level 2 and 3 notes focus on more complex aspects of structural engineering. Then we have the essential knowledge texts. The series of 19 volumes covers the core principles of structural design, analysis, and mechanics, providing an invaluable resource for engineering students, graduates, and those interested in refreshing their basic knowledge. Finally, access to webinars and lectures. The institution also makes freely available a library of on demand webinars and lectures, including on the safe design of concrete and steel structures in earthquake prone locations. You can search for these resources in IStructE website to view hundreds of past technical lectures and presentation. Climate emergency is a threat to all of us. This partnership also provides access to our climate emergency toolkit, our How to Calculate Embodied Carbon book, the Structural Carbon online tool, which helps you to quickly estimate the embodied carbon in your structures, and embodied carbon basics for structural engineers on demand course. This is a comprehensive video based resource that helps you to undertake embodied carbon calculations and develop a strategy for reducing carbon on different projects. All 10 African professional engineering institutions that are members of CEC will be given a bespoke code for their members to use on the iStructE online shop. The code will entitle members to a 100% discount on any technical guidance note, essential knowledge text, and the library of webinars and lectures. Once members have registered an account with iStructE, they will be able to add these items to their basket, input the discount code, and download these items for free. So, what next? This partnership is about learning together. In addition to making existing iStructE resources available, we're also looking ahead to collaborate on tailored training that further develops skills and knowledge, covering core materials like concrete, steel design, disaster resilience, and climate adapted construction. These programs will be adapted for local contexts, including guidance for designing with locally sourced materials and co created region specific knowledge. I've spoken a lot about technical support, but we also aim to provide professional support. We are actively promoting the institution's free student membership offer, and we'll establish young member networks linked to existing iStructE groups, providing a community, mentorship, and peer support. In closing, I urge you to take a closer look at the resources on offer, because structural engineers everywhere have a shared responsibility to protect lives, build sustainably, and uphold the integrity of our profession. Together and in partnership, by strengthening engineering capacity through shared knowledge, we can tackle global challenges, from building resilient infrastructure to addressing the urgent threat of climate change. Over time, we hope to see this partnership putting safely first, with low carbon, high resilience thinking at the heart of every structure. Thank you for listening to me. I will now hand you back to Tendai to chair our Q&A.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you for that. That was very insightful and inspiring, really. I particularly like the focus on real and trusted collaboration, that this is a true partnership that reaches across time zones and international boundaries. Okay, it's time for question and answers. In terms of housekeeping, we might not be able to answer all the questions during this session, but we will provide responses after the webinar if there are more questions. Okay, so please get your questions in through the chat if you can. Yasmin, I've got the first question coming in now, and it's all about what are the opportunities and challenges you see in delivering this partnership?
So thank you for the question. It's a very good question. And some of the things that we all know is that if something is worth doing, it has challenges as well as opportunities. So we have taken that into consideration in developing this partnership. This delivery model for this project was created on the basis of collaboration and co-creation. We see a lot of opportunities ahead of us. Some of that will be to grow the structural engineering profession through partnership, also to strengthen the engineering capacity and resilience through the global collaboration that we set up. We will also be sharing and co-creating engineering expertise to help build a more safe and sustainable built environment. There will always be challenges. The global environment, we live in a volatile, unpredictable world at the moment, so it will impact many countries, including Africa. The pressures of climate change, socioeconomic issues, rapid urbanization, some of the topics which we touched upon also in my presentation. Our project group has thought about all of these things very carefully, about the external factors that might impact and how we can mitigate against them. So the idea is to make sure that structural engineering profession is a sought after profession and the public are interested and learn more about what the structural engineers do and how they keep them safe. So we do indeed see a lot of opportunities going forward with this partnership. Thank you.
Amazing. In fact, I was thinking about this when I left Zimbabwe and Botswana. I maintained my membership for those institutions. So if I ever go back or my membership with IStructE lapses, then I can still have access to all these through my membership in Zimbabwe and Botswana. So yeah, there are opportunities there. Thank you very much for that. I guess the second question is, what do you see success looking like in a year's time, Yasmin?
That's a good question again. With any project, you have to think about measures of success. And success will have aspirational targets, short-term goals that we will reach. For example, we'd love to see this partnership grow in other countries and where there's a need for more collaboration on structural safety and climate action. Success is also based for us on the ongoing relevance of what we are doing through this partnership. And for example, we will look at how many people engage with our resources. I spoke to you earlier about all the resources that we are providing through this partnership. So we will look to see how many people engage with this and take benefit of that. We will be keen to see how our partners are encouraging people to attend events and how these events are helping them and their members grow. We will also be looking to see how we are sharing and building the sources of knowledge, because the key to this partnership is also co-creation. So we will be looking to develop more content that will be relevant to the continent. And we will be looking to see the CPD training courses, for example, say the design of concrete structures or the practical design of structural steel, and webinars that are available, see how many people are interested in that and how much the take-up is for that. We will, more importantly, be collaborating with universities through this partnership to encourage people to take the free student membership that we offer globally, not only in Africa, that is available to every student who is studying structural engineering or civil engineering courses. And they can then take advantage of the resources that are on offer. We will look to create young member networks. They are the heart and soul of a pipeline of talent of structural engineering. And we will work with the local networks to make sure that these groups are linked with our existing groups so that the success factors are magnified. These are all some of the examples of what we think will be a possible success measures. But we are really excited to see how much impact this is going to have on the ground to people's lives and to the work that structural engineers do. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Yasmin. I'll probably combine a couple of questions coming in now. You probably touched a little bit about this already, but the question is, can you share a little more about why Africa? And the related question to this is there a special membership cadre for African engineers under this partnership? And if yes, is there a cost involved with that?
Okay, why Africa? That's a very good question again. As I mentioned during my presentation, there's a rapid population growth, rapid urbanization, and we are seeing people coming and living in cities more. And there's going to be almost new construction that will take place to kind of house those people and to cater to the needs of those communities living in such economies. So, to make sure that safety, resilience, and sustainable development forms a part of everyone's thinking, it is important that we share knowledge, we co create, we make sure that the local engineers have access to the resources that we are all providing here. And in working in a partnership, what we are doing is we are not only providing training through the local institution, so it is catered exactly for the engineers who are on the ground, but we are also creating opportunities for African engineers to design and build more resilient and sustainable cities. And you can think about it in one way where we are sharing knowledge, we are developing knowledge that is more useful and relevant for the local economies, and all of this goes to show that we place the safety and sustainability at the heart of everything that we do, and that brings us back to our mission. And I think there was like another question associated with that around the membership cadre for African members and also about the fee. And I know, Tenda, you touched upon the fees as well when you were speaking in your video. And we are aware that the fees can be a challenge for members in some areas. So we have a low income reduction that we offer to all of our members, not just our members in Africa. So, for example, if you make less than £18,000, then you will be entitled to that reduction, and which is currently at 60% off of all of our products and fees. And we also have a group affiliate scheme. And for example, the Zimbabwean Institution of Engineers have become a group affiliate members. And through that, you get an affiliate grade membership where the annual subscription starts around £30. So there are many ways in which you can be a part of the institution that doesn't have to really break the bank. And our fees should not be a restriction for people to access knowledge, which is why we are doing all of these things that we are doing to support engineers across the world.
Amazing work in there. Now, the next question is about a structural engineer based here in the UK. They're saying, we are here in the UK. How can we get involved in helping?
Thank you. And I think we're always looking for people who can join us and help us in the work that we do. So if you haven't heard about our mentoring program called Elevate, that's one opportunity where you can immediately help. We have set up this mentoring program. It is 1 year old now, almost, and we have a special program for our 1 year anniversary coming up. So look out for that. As a part of that program, you can sign up to be a mentor, and you will be assigned a mentee, and we can help people through that way, and that's an opportunity for you to do that. And if you wish to be mentored also, then you can sign up as a mentee. And I know people who have signed up both as a mentor and a mentee, so they get mentored themselves and they mentor others as well. So that's a good program to join immediately. And if you have local contacts and local links in the African continent, then by all means reach out to them and let them know about our partnership. Let them know that they can join us and they can access all the resources that we have. If you know students, if you know people in university academics, let them know that there is a free student membership available for all the students, not only in Africa, in every part of the world. And we are always looking for student liaison officers, academics based on the ground in the university. So if you're aware of academics in the region, please put us in touch with them, and please encourage people to do that. We are very happy to provide you with resources that you will be able to share to people that you are talking about. And if you feel there is anything else you can do to help that we haven't thought about or I haven't covered, by all means get in touch with us, and we are very happy to receive your ideas. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you. Thank you for that. There is a simple question in here. I don't know if the question need to be expanded. Perhaps you understand this. Yasmin is saying, why is Nigeria not represented?
Okay. All right. So, in terms of the way we are working here, is that we are working with the Council of Engineers, and through the Council of Engineers, we are working with the African member professional engineering institutions that they have as a part of that. And that is why we are working with those PEIs who are associated with CEC. And if you are from Nigeria, and if you have contacts in Nigeria, and you would like to see Nigeria become a part of our partnership, then by all means get in touch with us and let us know, and we can work with you on that. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, thank you. So the next one is started off by saying thank you for the presentation. But being a member of African institution, can it provide free access to the on-demand videos? And what is the advantage of current membership in local institutions? I hope you understand that.
Thank you. As you can understand, there are a lot of free resources that we give to our members, to students, and through this partnership to the members of the local PEIs. Through the local PEIs, we have created a model where you can work with the local institution whilst accessing our resources instead of directly accessing through to us. It means that you are basically working in the local region, whichever country you are in Africa, with those institutions. And there is a group affiliate scheme by which your local institution can join us as a group affiliate, and through that you will get access to a wider range of resources that we have. We always get this question about, can we not have everything for free? If public safety is important to you, can you not give everything for free? There is a cost to producing the content that we produce, and we are a membership body, and so we try to make as much information as possible, because of our interest in sharing knowledge and the fact that we are a learned society, to share this freely across the world. But there will always be some of the webinars and on-demand courses, etc., that will be charged. But accessing it through your institution and through the group affiliate scheme should make that easier for you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. And is it possible to be a mentor or a mentee without being chartered? That probably is a simple question for you there, Yasmin.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, of course, it is possible to be a mentor or a mentee without being chartered. As you know, we have different grades of membership with us, starting from the student all the way up to fellowship. So you can join at any point in time in your career journey or in your membership journey, and based on your interests and based on what you want out of mentoring, we will assign you with the right mentor or the right mentee. This is actually a matching exercise that we undertake so that you get the best possible mentor or the mentee, and then we allow you to kind of work through your mentoring program. So there's a lot of flexibility. It is quite popular, and in the 1 year that we have launched, we have seen so many people taking up this already. So if you're interested, then by all means get in touch with us, and we can put you through to the mentoring team, and who can assign you both a mentor and a mentee depending on what you would like.
Awesome. Yeah. And I'm very, very keen as well on mentorship and mentee arrangement. So just think exactly on your needs and then define who you need to reach to. So whether you need a mentor or a sponsor or, all those kind of things, you need to put that all into perspective and then choose your guide afterwards. Okay, the next question here we have is, Will you deliver this to other markets and jurisdiction, I guess, beyond Africa?
Yes, of course. We are always looking to expand the work that we are doing in the institution. And if we feel that it is aligned with our mission, it's aligned with our strategy, then of course we'd like to expand this to other countries and other regions where it might be of benefit to structural engineers and the local institutions and students and academics, practitioners, and everything. So we are always on the lookout. If the person who asked the question has a region in mind, then by all means get in touch with us and we can explore this a little bit further with you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. The next question I've got on here is about IStructE helping African professional engineering institutions with the challenge of visibility. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if you can answer that, Yasmin, but if you can expand on that as well, if we haven't really answered your question, please. Okay, go ahead, Yasmin.
Thank you, Tendai, and thank you to the person who's asked this question. I think, as I said in this presentation, and as Tendai has been saying as well, we very much see this as a partnership of equals. And this is about co creation, this is about knowledge sharing. The visibility of it, which is why we had a slide listing out all the PEIs that we are involved in. We've got a dedicated section on our website that talks about the partnership and lists out all these things. We are also looking to co-create with the local institutions, and so that it might be of better help and better resource for the local engineers. So, in terms of providing visibility for the work that people are doing locally in their region, these are all ways in which their IStructE is promoting the local institutions to become more visible on a global stage. And as I mentioned very early on in my presentation, we have a global membership. And the work that we are doing is available for our global membership. Our magazine that we produce every month, The Structural Engineer, goes to around 30,000 people. So any work that we are doing and articles that are featured in there, things that we promote through that, is available for the global audience to see. So the visibility is magnified and multiplied by manyfold. And I think that's another good advantage for the local institutions to be a part of this partnership.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for that. And the next question is about Zambia. They say there are currently 10 members of CEC, and I noticed Zambia is not currently included. Is there a particular reason for this?
Thank you. So, thank you to everyone who is pointing out the fact that there is one region or one country that is not listed out. And I'm going to take all of your questions around these representation back to my project team, and to make sure that we work on expanding this partnership, because this work is starting. We are just launching. This is the launch event. So we have done some work and we are starting off now. And we will make sure that we expand this to cover more countries within the continent, and to make sure other countries are also involved through CEC and through other means in which we can find a way to work this out. Our interest is to collaborate, co-create, and to knowledge share. And if there's anything you can do to give us names, give us contacts, we are more than happy to take that on board and work with that. Thank you.
Okay. And the next question is back on mentee-mentor relationships. A simple question: what is the step or processes involved in becoming a mentee? So I guess, do we have a contact in IStructE, something like that?
Yeah, if you can write to edi@istructe.org, I shouldn't say .com, then you will be able to put forward your interest in becoming a mentee, or indeed a mentor, and we will be able to then take you through a questionnaire and then match you and take you through this process. So please feel free to write to us, and we can then take you forward in this process.
Okay. Hope that's clear. What are the biggest opportunities for the structural engineering profession across Africa? Is it about climate or structural safety or both?
So, as I mentioned, it's a good question. Thank you. So, we don't look at it anymore as safety versus sustainability, or maybe safety is more important than sustainability. And I think since 2019, I mentioned to you that we put both safety and sustainability on equal footing. So, on the basis of that, we really believe that it's important that the buildings and structures that are built by structural engineers are safe as well as sustainable. The materials that they source are not eroding the environment, and the environment sustainability is something that they take into account. And this is woven through every piece of work that we do in the institution. So whether it's you're taking our exam, whether you're applying for an award, or whether you're receiving an award from us, or no matter what work we are doing, you will see that safety and sustainability are put in equal footing, and we value both, and we feel they go hand in hand in making the future structures both safe and sustainable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. The next question is from the Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. And he said, I'm joining from DRC and I'm working as a QC engineer with a bachelor's degree in civil and structural engineering. What specific global collaborations are currently in place that have successfully strengthened engineering capabilities in Africa?
Thank you. That's a well thought out question. Thank you for that. I think it is really good to see that as a engineer practicing in this field, that you are interested in the global collaborations that are in place at the moment. So, in terms of structural engineering, what I can tell you is the fact that we are now starting and launching this partnership is for us the very first step in making sure that this partnership blossoms and grows and flourishes and takes roots in Africa. And I think in terms of the current collaborations that we have quite a few members in Africa. Our presence in Africa goes right back to 1937, I believe. And we have worked with different countries in Africa. We have had various agreements with individual countries in Africa in the past. So we did have a agreement of cooperation with Nigeria, with Zimbabwe, with South Africa, for example. And we have a lot of members based out of Africa, from students to incorporated members to our chartered members to technicians to fellows. So we have a lot of presence already in Africa. We have more than 650 members at the moment in Africa. And I think through that, we are already working to promote knowledge sharing and sharing of our resources. And this will take it and accelerate it a little bit further, and to make sure we are giving specific region relevant information, and in collaboration with local PEIs. I think that's what is different with this partnership. And hopefully this will be something that will help everybody grow in their career, and help with the public understanding the importance of structural engineers. For me personally, I'd like to see more young people taking up structural engineering as a profession, because I don't think there's enough said about this profession that keeps all of us safe on a daily basis. So I'd like to see the importance given to the profession, and more young people choose this as a profession of choice.
Okay, thank you for that. I guess, are there any further questions? Please fill in, because we're probably coming to the end of this session in a moment. I've got one last question at the moment for you, Yasmin. Is there any plan to collaborate with the Royal Academy of Engineering? Sorry, I've missed that. Yeah, so is there any plan to collaborate with the Royal Academy of Engineering that has produced a toolbox for growing the PEIs, Professional Engineering Institution membership based in Africa, with a number of initiatives. So it looks like there is already something there with the Royal Academy of Engineering.
Thank you. We are very much a part of the Royal Academy of Engineering, and we work very closely with them. And we are always looking to collaborate with not only with the professional engineering institutions locally in the UK, but also everywhere around the world. And we are looking to see how people have come together and collaborated, and there's always scope for building on what's already been done. There's no point reinventing the wheel, but also there is opportunities for innovation and for doing things differently. So we are considering what is there already and also thinking about what we can do differently so that we can maximize the benefits of this partnership.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for that engagement. We have 5 minutes to the top of the hour, so I was just going to give it back to you, Yasmin, so